Hey there, today we're diving into something that's probably inflating your business's energy bills by thousands of dollars. It's this kind of outrageous hidden cost that you might not even realize you're paying. So let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? You're staring at your company's energy bill, just scratching your head, wondering, why is this thing so complicated? And why do the costs just shoot through the roof sometimes? Well, it turns out there's a hidden culprit in this whole drama, and it's a cost that affects pretty much everyone. We're going to break down exactly what it is, and way more importantly, how you can fix it.
So here's the secret. The reason your bill feels so random is because you're not just paying for the amount of electricity you use, the kilowatt hours. Nope, you're also paying for how fast you use it. And that one little detail, well, that's the key to this entire puzzle.
Okay, to really get this, think of our energy grid like a highway. At 3 in the morning, the road is wide open, smooth sailing. But at 5 p.m. on a Friday, when literally everyone is trying to get home at the exact same time, it's total gridlock. That's precisely what's happening with our electricity.
And these traffic jams on the energy grid? Yeah, they have a name, power peaks. It's basically the grid's own version of rush hour. And it's these moments, these peaks, that are causing all those nasty, expensive surprises on your monthly bill.
All right, so let's get right down to it. How does this whole peak power problem end up hitting your wallet so hard? Well, the reason this grid's rush hour is so incredibly expensive, it really comes down to a pretty simple dilemma for the people who own the grid.
See, when everyone fires up their heavy machinery all at once, it's like trying to shove a massive amount of water through a tiny little pipe. The grid just can't handle that surge, so this leaves the grid owners with two choices. One, build out hugely expensive new networks, or two, just charge a massive premium for using the grid during those rush hours. Any guesses which one they chose? And we are talking about a staggering amount of money. A single power peak, your highest spike in energy use, which is often measured over just 1 hour, can end up setting a huge chunk of your network fees for the entire month. Think about that. 1 hour of unmanaged power use, like a few big machines kicking on at the same time, can easily cost you over $1,000. That's 1 hour blowing up your whole month's budget.
So you're probably thinking, okay, if this is so common and so ridiculously expensive, why hasn't everyone just, fixed it? And that is a great question. The answer really lies in what you could call the engineer's trap.
See, in the past, the only way to deal with this problem was with these massive, custom-built engineering projects for every single building. They were incredibly complicated, they took forever to set up, and they were just outrageously expensive. The market was basically screaming for something simple and scalable, like an app on your phone, but all they were getting were these clunky, costly, one-off projects.
But that was then. Now, things are finally changing. There's a totally new kind of technology emerging. And you can think of it like a smart conductor that automatically directs all the different things in your building that use power.
Honestly, the best way to describe this new tech is like Office 365 for energy. And that makes total sense, right? Instead of some huge, one-off, custom-built program, you get a standardized, cloud-connected service that just works everywhere, it's always up to date, and it can scale up or down as much as you need it to.
So how does this smart conductor actually work? Well, it's pretty simple, really. First, it connects all your energy assets, your solar panels, your EV chargers, heat pumps, you name it, into one central hub right there on site. Then it watches your total energy use second by second. If it sees you're about to hit that expensive peak limit, its on-site AI makes an instant decision to optimize. It might pause a non-critical heat pump for just a few minutes until, say, an electric vehicle is done with its initial big charge. It's all done automatically, just to keep you under that costly ceiling.
And here's the secret sauce, the real game changer. The system uses something called edge computing. All that means is that the local hub, that conductor, makes all these decisions instantly, right there on site in real time. It doesn't have to phone home to the cloud and ask for permission, which makes it lightning fast and super reliable. That's the technical advantage that makes this whole thing so hard for others to copy.
Okay, that's all cool from a tech perspective, but what really matters is the bottom line, right? Let's look at the actual savings. Does this stuff actually work? Just look at this. This is a real commercial property. Before they installed this system, their power peak was hitting 800 kilowatts. And afterwards, boom, down to 560. That is a massive, massive reduction. So what does that massive drop look like in cold, hard cash? We're talking a net savings of over $2,500 every single month. The return on investment here is incredibly fast.
And look, this wasn't just some lucky one-off. This technology is smart enough to adapt to pretty much any environment. We see an industrial facility saving over $4,500 a month. A school building saving more than $1,800 a month. It just works, right across the board.
But here's what's really, really cool about this whole thing. This isn't just a good deal for the individual building owner who's saving a bunch of money. It's truly a win for everyone involved in the system.
So on one hand, the energy user, that could be you, gets lower, more predictable bills and totally automated savings. But at the same time, the grid owner gets a much more stable and predictable network. That means they have to do fewer expensive upgrades. And let's be honest, those are upgrades that we all end up paying for in the end. It's just a smarter, more efficient system for everybody.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. For so long, the whole conversation around energy has been about producing more of it, building more power plants, building bigger grids. But what if the real revolution isn't about creating more power at all? What if it's about getting brilliant at using the energy we already have, but just using it smarter, at precisely the right time,